Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/Tales from Retail. And it's time for another set of stories about crazy people. And our first story today. Call me an a-hole in front of my customers, will you? How about I get you fired? But before we start, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. So this just happened a few days ago. I apologize for the wall of text, but it's warranted for this story. I manage a shipping store that loves the color brown. We have 3 employees, and we do the typical packaging and shipping that you would expect, along with copies, printing, etc. As an additional source of revenue, we have private contracts to do fingerprinting for 2 different agencies that run background screenings. People in certain lines of work in our state, medical, childcare, education, etc., are required by law to have these background screenings done before starting a new job and after every 5 years of employment. People are registered with one of these 2 agencies, make a payment to them, and are then sent to us with a registration number form to have their fingerprints collected. We collect the fingerprints digitally on equipment provided to us by the agencies. They are then electronically submitted to background check agencies, who in turn send them to the FBI and our state law enforcement agency for processing. We then sign off on their registration number form and tell them to hold on to it in case there are any problems. I should also mention that these screenings are quite expensive to register for, but we're only paid a small commission by the agencies for each person we fingerprint. We are the only place in the area to have this done for these agencies. Now, we do a lot of fingerprinting here. Easily 20 to 30 people a day between the 2 agencies, and it can get quite disruptive to the handling of other business in the store when you've only got 3 people working. We have lots of strict guidelines that we're required to abide by for fingerprinting, so before we start, we simply give folks a rundown of what we're going to do and what we need them to do to get them finished as quickly as possible. Most people cooperate. Some do not. Some are just downright rude about it. If someone isn't cooperating with what we need them to do, keeping relaxed, trying not to roll their fingers themselves, etc., we'll ask them again a few times to cooperate. If they're rude about it or still don't cooperate, then we just do what we need to do to get them finished and out the door. If your fingerprints are deteriorated or damaged, or if you were just uncooperative and didn't allow us to get clear prints, the prints can be rejected by the FBI or state law enforcement as unreadable. If this happens, they send you a rejection number, then you have to come back with that and your original registration number and get them done all over again. This is where our story begins. I'm at the counter helping customers when this woman walks in. You know those people who you can just look at and instantly tell they're going to have a bad attitude? This was one of them. So we'll just call her Bad Attitude, or BA. Me. How are you today? BA. Here. Thrusting a random paper at me. Me. I take the paper, see the scribbled number on the paper. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, looks like you need to be fingerprinted again. BA. In an extremely condescending tone. Yeah. Me. Okay, do you have your original registration ID? BA. Sigh. Condescending tone. No. Why don't you just look it up? Me. I'm sorry, but I don't have any way to do that. I don't have access to the agency's systems to search for your information. We simply enter your registration number to pull up your appointment. BA. Whatever. I don't care. Just do it. Me. Well, I won't be able to do anything without your registration number. BA then snatches the paper from me and says, "This is effing ridiculous." Me. Okay, well, that was unnecessary. She then stomped out, saying, "You people should have just done your effing job." I've had it with this lady at this point. "All right then, you have a lovely day." She yells back, "Yeah, you too, a-hole." At this point, she walks out the door. Mind you, this all happened in front of other customers. I apologize to them for her language. One of my associates, M, begins telling me that he was the one that fingerprinted her originally. He tells me that she was very uncooperative and was just as rude when he dealt with her. I then tell M and my other associate D that if she comes back in, to let me handle it. I plan on refusing her service and asking her not to return to the store. I'm just finishing up with the customer when M motions toward the door. BA's coming back in and she's talking to someone on the phone. She walks up to the counter and thrusts her phone at me. All right, I know what's going on here. Bad move, lady. Here, talk to them. She started muttering about how stupid we are. Me. Hello, this is Jet Black Lungs. I'm the store manager. On the phone, I hear, hello, this is Derpina. I'm the HR director for Blah-Biddy-Blah Healthcare Center. I understand there's a problem with BA's fingerprinting. What information do you need? Me. Well, we needed to have her registration ID to collect her fingerprints again. But at this point, I'm not going to be able to complete this for her. Derpina asks, what's the issue? BA standing directly across the counter from me with a slightly puzzled look on her face. I look her dead in the eyes as I continue speaking. When she came in earlier, I asked her for the information I needed, and she became very rude and combative, telling me that my request was effing ridiculous and that we should have done our effing jobs before calling me an a-hole from across the store on her way out. This was all done in front of several customers in my store. We do not tolerate this kind of behavior, and I will not allow her back into the store. A look of horror and plain old oh crap flashes across BA's face. Well, you started it. I give her a look that says, B, please. On the phone I hear, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I apologize for this. I completely understand. Please know that we will definitely handle this and she will not be back in your store. Could you please put BA back on the phone? Again, I'm so sorry for this. So BA standing there, mouth agape, looking like someone just ran over her puppy. I hand her the phone back and say, she wants to talk to you. You can leave my store now. She turns to walk out and puts the phone back to her ear. I'm listening with delight as she walks out. BA, hello. Yeah, but I can't. No, wait, please? Hello? Hello? She glares back at me, and I just wave and say bye. Haven't seen her since. If I had been one of your employees that day, I would have felt compelled to buy you a drink for the privilege of witnessing such an act of epic awesomeness. And our second story. She's having a seizure. Can you still ring me up? Not much backstory. As you can probably guess from the title, I'm epileptic and have seizures. Thankfully, my store was actually super understanding of my disability and did everything to help me. This is a mixture of what I remember and what I was told by my managers as to what happened. There's only one register in the store where you can get cigarettes, lighters, certain more expensive liquor, etc. I happened to be the one working that register. Everything was going completely fine with the usual customer banter when an aura hit me. Then hit me hard. For those of you who are unfamiliar, an aura is kind of a warning sign before a seizure that only you can feel and can do nothing about. It could be a funny smell, hallucinations, the feeling of slipping out of reality, a number of different things. Anyway, for me, this time it was the feeling that everything was moving in slow motion. Last thing I remember was scanning a box of golf balls and the customer requesting Marlboro Gold. Then feeling frozen in place, which apparently I actually was. I heard this right before I blacked out. Guy, hello? 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 What the hell's wrong with you? I said I wanted a box of Marlboro Gold. Are you even listening to me? I can't believe this. Marlboro Gold. Do you even know what that is? Are you an idiot? And then I was gone. I woke up on the floor surrounded by my managers. One customer was awesome enough to run and get help. From what I understand, the whole time I was on the floor having a seizure, the customers in line were watching this and actually complaining to the managers helping me about how I must be on drugs, and they still expected to be rung up, despite them trying to explain I was having a seizure. So they were telling the managers to just step over me to get their smokes and lighters for them and get to the register, then causing a huge scene when they were refused. They said they actually had to radio security to come and shoo people away. It just blows my mind that people can act this way. Look, I'm sorry I'm having a seizure and can't get cigarettes for you, but I don't exactly have control over this. I think you'll survive without your smokes and lighters for a few more minutes. Makes me sad to think this is the world we live in sometimes. And our third story. One of everything. I used to work for a supermarket a few years ago in Florida as a deli clerk. One day I had a mechanic from the auto shop in the same plaza I worked in come into the deli and ask if I had any more chicken tenders. I was a little confused since there were still several pounds of chicken tenders in the case in front of him, but I tell him, I can give you these in the case or I can make some more. but it's going to take about 10 minutes to make more. The guy absolutely loses it, yelling and cursing, practically foaming at the mouth, and rambling about how the store is a giant circle jerk ran by clowns. Eventually, one of the customers in line behind him tells him he needs to calm down, so he storms off to the customer service desk. I don't recall what was said to customer service, but whatever it was, he didn't like it. He slams his basket full of groceries down on the ground, spilling things everywhere, and storms out of the store. The next evening, he comes in and sees me behind the deli counter slicing lunch meat and comes to the counter waiting for me to finish with my customer so I can help him. Two of my coworkers offered to help, but he ignored them. He only wants me. I finish with my customer and brace for the worst, turn to face him and ask, "How can I help you?" He gets a smug look on his face and says slowly, "I'll have one slice of everything you have in the case." Now, this is a big store, and the deli has over 100 different items. My coworkers looked stunned, but I was not about to give this guy the satisfaction of getting to me, so I smile and politely say, "Sure. What would you like to start with? How about some cheese?" I then proceed to slice one thing of everything, being sure to be polite and offer him a sample and show him each cut. I get through about 10 or so items before the guy realizes he isn't getting to me, which angered him more, and that this would take forever. Didn't bother me, I got paid by the hour. He's only wasting his time. And that he would have to pay for all this stuff. He didn't. We found it all stuffed in a cooler later that night. The guy yells, "Enough! Let's stop standing here being a-holes to each other and just shake hands and move past this." So I take off my gloves and shake his hand, and the guy sulks away, clearly upset that he's just wasted 20 minutes and never got a rise out of me. At least he put the meats in a cooler and not behind the magazines where they go bad. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.